Welcome everyone to One Warrior Wrestling live as always from Washington DC, the nation's capital, and we are starting off with a very interesting matchup this evening as David Gardner and Kyle Moore have been having some issues with one another, and they look to settle those here tonight, but not in a matchup against one another. No, they have said they are going to have a match against Adam Jobs, each of them being given just 5 minutes to win the match via referee stoppage. And whoever can do it in the quickest amount of time is considered the toughest man in 1WW USA. So definitely an interesting proposition between two of 1WW's best. David Gardner in the ring now. And here is the man of the hour, Adam Jobs, who definitely is going to have his work cut out for him here tonight. Adam Jobs, a 15-year pro, but he is going to be facing two young guns who are eager to prove they are the toughest in the world. Adam Jobs is going to have to survive not one but two matches against some hard hitters. And I hope for his sake that they are some quick matches, because if both of these men have to go the full 5 minutes, something tells me frustration is going to mount almost immediately. But Adam Jobs does seem to be in high spirits, and the jobbers at ringside are definitely hyping him up. So let's hope that he can survive this without too much negative to his physical condition. And then making his way out here last is Kyle Moore. The first of these 5-minute Tough Man challenges will be Kyle Moore taking on Adam Jobs, and then David Gardner will have the second one. So Kyle will start things off. You will have 5 minutes on a clock that will be on your screen, and we will count it down. The only way the match ends is via referee stoppage. So James Jackson's going to have to be on the up and up for this one. Kyle Moore has proved in the last couple of weeks that he is willing to go the distance. Think back to that war he had in the quarterfinals against Wade Urena. So definitely proving that he has what it takes to go the distance. But this is a unique challenge that does not rely on typical wrestling acumen. And James Jackson rings the bell. 5 minutes on the clock for the first of two 5-minute Tough Man challenges. And Adam Jobs is taking it to Kyle Moore to start here. He could be looking to maybe have an upset. Went for the chop in the corner, but not going to get it done. Jobs thrown to the side. Of course, this is a lot like golf. The lower your time, the win is yours. It looked like Kyle went for the psycho driver there, but Jobs had the counter and the job kick to the side of the head. Adam Jobs is performing incredibly well here given the circumstances on Kyle Moore. Adam Jobs, I mean, I think we are not, thinking about the possibility that Adam Jobs very well could knock out Kyle Moore. Looked like he went for a powerbomb there, but Kyle reversed it as 1 minute has already elapsed. It does not look like it's that good for Kyle Moore. A running, twisting headbutt by Adam Jobs. And now Adam wants to try and make Kyle Moore tap out. This would be an incredible upset on the part of Adam Jobs if he manages to make Kyle Moore tap out. Going back to it again. Adam Jobs has this chin lock leg trap locked, and you see David Gardner cheering it on because this is exactly what he wants to happen. I mean, at this point, over a minute and a half have elapsed in this 5-minute challenge, and honestly, Kyle Moore is getting kind of exposed. This is definitely not what he wanted to see, I can guarantee you that. And Adam Jobs is on fire right now. Diving headbutt is evaded by Kyle Moore up on the shoulders. Big discus punch to the head of Adam Jobs. High kick and the punches. The side headlock takeover now. Kyle Moore seems like he's trying to just get himself under himself after that early rally by Adam Jobs. Kyle heading to the corner. We've seen him use this in the past. The knee trembler to Adam Jobs. And now Kyle Moore locking in just a standard chin lock, yanking back on the head. Will Adam be forced to submit? And he taps. That's going to be 2 minutes and 45 seconds for Kyle Moore. So Kyle gets his in 2:45. That's the time to beat for David Gardner. Let's get into that one. Alrighty, and the time to beat is 2:45 for David Gardner. And he's got a cravat sleeper applied to Adam Jobs, already trying to beat him in less than a minute. But Adam fights it out. Barely. Adam Jobs managed to waste a lot of time against Kyle Moore. Oh, Adam off the ropes looking for the job kick. He hits it on David Gardner. He hits the job kick on David Gardner. He's going for it a second time, I think. This would be the upset of the century. A second job kick to David Gardner. Oh my God. David Gardner looks like he is stunned, but hits a suplex to get back into it. He hit 2 straight job kicks, and David Gardner not even staggered. Once again into the cravat sleeper, and a time of 1:05 for David Gardner. Good Lord. And with that, David Gardner wins and is officially declared the toughest man in 1WW. That was something. And as we get into our next contest, we have got Santos Jarrett making his One Warrior Wrestling debut, the unhinged, unruly, former military man looking to take on Iku Atami representing the 666 Dojo. And he ain't dead, but he is Jarrett. Santos Jarrett, of course, known for his incredibly devastating rear naked choke, the Mercy Kill. And if he can get that locked in on Iku Atami, it will definitely prove to be a devastating result.
The next time I have to come in here, I'm cracking skulls.
Making his way out now is Iku Atami representing the 666 Dojo. And he is looking to get his first victory here in One Warrior Wrestling singles competition. The big man born in Kyoto, raised in Chicago. Has been under the tutelage of Michael Young for a few weeks now and has been benefiting from it tremendously, including last week where he picked up the final pinfall, or the second to last pinfall, excuse me, in that trios matchup. So a battle of two big men. Starting off, Santos Jarrett just laying in the shots to the face, but Iku Itami, a world-class martial artist, is definitely going to try and take him down, even showcasing that he has some acumen in Western wrestling with that side headlock takeover. Iku Itami trying to control Santos Jarrett here, looking for a camel clutch. Shades of Gory Guerrero has it applied in deep, but Santos almost immediately gets that escape. Santos Jarrett trying to fight off Iku's rallying already. The fans firmly in the corner of Iku Itami. And you know that they are rabid for our main event, a Texas death match between Michael Young and Dylan Hyatt, which surely proves to be a fantastic contest, but this one could quickly turn into a death match if Santos Jarrett gets his way. Santos just laying in those shots to Iku Itami. And now the elbows to the side of the head of the Madman. Santos in a bad spot as he gets hit with a suplex there by Iku Itami. And just laying in the punches. Iku looking to fly here. This could be either very beneficial or very risky. King Kong knee drop. Connects flush. Goes for the cover here. Gets a 2 out of it. So that is definitely going to be the area that he targets, the upper body and the head of Santos Jarrett, as he has proven thus far. But Santos shaking the cobwebs off. He hasn't wrestled in quite a long time, so the ring rust may be showing. Big DDT to Jarrett. And Iku Itami locking in the Magna Claw onto Santos Jarrett. Jarrett has not been able to get much of anything in this contest, but that could change here as he throws Iku to the apron and just whooshes him back in, nearly flipping Iku completely inside outwards and just laying in the chops and the punches, but Iku reverses the pressure. Lariat from Iku Itami. Managed to counter, got the lariat, but does not get the 3. And if I'm Michael Young, I would be practicing lariats with this young man because he's got great form, but did not have the power needed to put away Santos Jarrett. Big gorilla press by Iku Itami there. Just stamping on the arm as well. Santos Jarrett's ring rust has definitely been proving him as a disadvantage, but Iku's freshness may be his deciding factor against him. Santos Jarrett just needs one opportunity to lock in the mercy kill, and it could be as good as over. Big forearm smash to Iku. Santos Jarrett, teardrop, backdrop driver. And now just biting on the fingers. The referee's going to have to get in there and do something about that. And he's got him locked in a claw hold to the forehead. Very old school by Santos Jarrett. But Iku having to fight out of it. Santos Jarrett had that claw hold applied to the forehead of Iku Itami. Off the ropes, running punch right in the face. A haymaker from hell. And he's got it trapped. The mercy kill is locked in on Iku Itami. Will he be able to escape? Iku managing, I think he bit the hand of Santos Jarrett to get free and laid in some elbows, giving him a little bit of receipt on that hand biting earlier. You could see him fading fast, but Iku, ever the wily opportunist that he has learned from Michael Young, for the second time, a King Kong onto Santos Jarrett, and has a claw of his own applied here. Before slamming him down, Santos back up, and just double legs Iku and clattering him in the face. Goodness, this has already been a belter of a contest. Santos Jarrett picking him up. Inverted power slam by Jarrett. Goes in for the cover and gets the 3. Santos Jarrett in his return match is victorious. Fantastically done by Santos, and I fear for everyone else in One Warrior Wrestling USA. And as we get into our next contest here in Washington, D.C., we have got a reuniting, and it feels so good. Wanderero Ortiz teaming up with his longtime tag team partner, Kevin Brutus. Of course, we saw Wanderero Ortiz in action on the first episode of One Warrior Wrestling, picking up a win over Aiden Flynn. But this is the first time we have been privy to Big Kevin Brutus, a former world's champion. Kevin Brutus and Wanderero Ortiz have been very successful in their tag team ventures, have won tag team championships together. Triple Crown and El Futuro, respectively. These two have not teamed in almost a year, but I doubt that either of them will have much trouble getting back into their groove. Wanderero Ortiz and Kevin Brutus could prove to be a thorn in the side of the doubles champions El Rey Dallaire and Gavin Daniels. And speaking of doubles champions, here is one of them. El Rey Dallaire. Making his way down the aisle. A man embodied by tradition, the son of the late great ace of the original incarnation of One Warrior Wrestling, Kazuya Mitsushi. El Rey Dallaire embodies everything there is of tradition and legacy. Already having won a championship here, but it is definitely not under the circumstances that he would like. Holding that championship proudly above his head. He knows what it represents. One Warrior Wrestling had some of the best tag teams in history. A titles lineage dating back to 1991. Reactivated here in 2022. And then a man who cares little for tradition, little for legacy, cares only of himself and his personal gains. The punk rock paradox, Gavin Daniels. Of course, Gavin fresh off a loss to Dan Darnester just last week. Told El Rey Delaire to stay backstage, he could handle it. Gavin had the match won on at least 5 different occasions by my count, but never wanted to go in and capitalize on it. Instead wanted to try and deal more damage, and it cost him in the end. So the odd couple of Gavin Daniels and El Rey Delaire already not getting any closer to one another. You can feel the contempt. Gavin Daniels even saying, time to carry him again. See if that proves to be true. Gavin, of course, as you've no doubt heard before from his own mouth, loves to say how he was the reason that they won the tag team championships in the first place, getting the pinfall over Cazador Jr. So let's get into this one. Nothing on the line. And we've got 4 men who have never occupied a ring together. Big facebuster on Wanderio Ortiz. And this could be 4 different dream matches right here. Wanderio and Gavin Daniels. Kevin Brutus and El Rey Delaire. Big Cazadora there as Gavin is getting his leg attacked by Wanderio. Imagine El Rey versus Wanderio. That is an all-time classic between 2 multi-generational superstars. And Gavin Daniels versus Kevin Brutus would surely be purely brutal. Big power bomb there by Ortiz as El Rey kicks out at 1. And Brutus and Ortiz have definitely taken control in the early portion of this matchup. Toss in the corner by Gavin Daniels. Keep your eyes on Wanderio. Oh, change direction. Pescado into the tornado DDT by Wanderio. Flawless execution and a big Kame Goye to boot. Huge power bomb by Kevin Brutus. And the longer tenured tag team of Kevin Brutus and Wanderio Ortiz, showcasing exactly why it's so important to be able to trust your tag team partner. Karate chop from Kevin Brutus. As Wanderio just trying to injure Wanderio Ortiz, it would seem, targeting the head. Of course, no one's going to counter the fact that Gavin Daniels and El Rey are incredible singles competitors, but as tag team partners, you can hardly say the same. They definitely do not have any love lost for one another. Big brainbuster there by Kevin Brutus. Off the ropes, the big body splash is evaded. And El Rey Delaire again with that Cazadora to Kevin Brutus. And he's finally starting to deal some damage to Big Bad Kev. Oh, look at this. Beautiful kick from El Rey Delaire and a standing shooting star. Gavin Daniels has Wanderio Ortiz tiger suplex. This is exactly what I mean when the match essentially breaks down to 2 singles. El Rey and Gavin Daniels may be unstoppable. El Rey introducing a steel folding chair. Definitely not what I expected him to do. Poison Rana to Kevin Brutus. Good Lord. Wanderio Ortiz with a Yokozuka DDT. And El Rey Delaire with the moonsault press. Gavin Daniels grabbing Wanderio. Paradox pile driver to Wanderio Ortiz. Wanderio could be rendered unconscious after that. Gavin goes for the cover. Kevin nowhere to be seen. And Gavin nearly got the win. Oh, the snapmare on the steel chair. Look at this. Arabian press from El Rey Delaire to Kevin Brutus as Gavin is thrown into the corner. And Wandero working on the arm of Gavin Daniels. Tossing him pillar to post. As El Rey knees Kevin Brutus. Oh, good Lord. This could be the biggest pescado we've ever seen. Look at that athleticism by El Rey, managing to use momentum to take down Kevin Brutus. Big moonsault, but Kev got the reversal. Nearly didn't matter as Wandero was nearly put away by Gavin. Oh, look at the headbutts by Kevin Brutus in the corner. Is a fantastic drop kick combination there by Wandero Ortiz. And Kevin Brutus now went for an attack, but Gavin actually just saved El Rey Del Air, kicking Kevin Brutus's leg. Managed to save him momentarily anyway. Gavin saw an opportunity and saved his tag partner, but it could have ended up costing him as he is now on the outside with Wandero Ortiz. El Rey dragging Kevin Brutus as Wandero is busted open. But Gavin thrown in. Paul smackage by Kevin Brutus. Not even a 2. Big final flash by Wandero Ortiz on the floor. Kevin looks to grab something else. He's got a sledgehammer, and El Rey just DDT'd Kevin on the hammer. Kevin already back up. Wandero shattering the Singapore cane on Gavin Daniels. And Kevin Brutus right now just tossing El Rey onto that steel folding chair in the ring. In the corner he goes. Gavin Daniels having to fight out. Big stinger splash avoided by El Rey Del Air. Big riot style kick there by El Rey Del Air. Oh, no way. There's no way he can lock this in on the big man, is there? Good Lord. He's got the Romero special. Doragon, no, a kitty locked in by El Rey Del Air. And Kevin Brutus taps. Kevin Brutus taps to maybe the most brutal submission hold I've ever seen. And once again, this odd couple pairing is successful. Can't deny that success from Gavin Daniels and El Rey Del Air. What an absolutely hellacious match that was, but Wandero and Kevin make their way to the back with their heads held high. And oh my God! What in the hell is Kevin Brutus doing? This is just insane. Kevin Brutus attacking his best friend and longtime tag team partner, Wandero Ortiz, here in front of everybody. Now just tossing him. Kevin Brutus making his intentions known that he is done being second fiddle to Ortiz, and a power bomb to from Kevin Brutus to Wandero Ortiz, and one final shot for good measure. And as we go into the match, a devastating attack has just taken place as Kevin Brutus assaulted Wandero Ortiz at ringside. He was just helped to the back by medical personnel. Sanchez will be in singles action here tonight, however. Making their way out next is Bruno Natoli, being accompanied by the Tsar of the Cutter, Dmitry Vasilev. Dmitry Vasilev, of course, competed extensively in the original incarnation of One Warrior Wrestling and is now advising the career of Bruno Natoli. Bruno Natoli, of course, the grandson of another One Warrior Wrestling alumni in Santana Natoli. So he has a lot of history on his side. But will that be able to be transferred into a win over someone as devastating as the Latin American executioner Max Sanchez? That, for now, remains to be seen. See Dmitry giving some pointers on how to handle a new opponent. You know that Vasilev has been making Natoli study the tape. But will it pay off when all is said and all is done? For the shot, and Natoli taking advantage early on Max Sanchez. Going up to the middle rope, big elbow, but Max moves out of the way, and Bruno falls hard to start this one. Big rising hand chop there by Max Sanchez. And Max Sanchez now just attacking the arm. Call him the Latin American executioner for a reason. This man is precise with his decimation of the human body. Snake eyes into a waistlock takedown. That right there is the unique combination style offense you will only see against a guy like Max Sanchez. Big elbow drop to the back as well. Just laying in the shots to Bruno Natoli here to start. Bruno back up though, managed to counter, but Max once again had the opportunity scouted. Now just using the ropes to his advantage. Both of these men want to do some big damage early on. Big leg drop there by Max Sanchez before looking to climb to the top rope. Diving body splash by Sanchez. We don't often see him leave his feet, but that time proved to be a wise decision, and now going back to targeting the left arm, which we've seen him return to a few times. Big drop kick to the labrum right below the shoulder blade, and that right there is why you do it. Trapping the left arm for the execution. Locked in on Bruno Natoli. His left arm could be damaged irreparably, but he manages to fight out of it somehow, some way. Is that arm going to prove to be a bum wheel for him? Big back suplex by Sanchez, who remains in his control state that he's been in for this contest. Big German suplex there by Sanchez, and follows it off with a standard vertical before going for the cover. And Bruno being forced to kick out with that right arm. The left one damn near dead after all the offense that Sanchez has done to it. Natoli having to use it for some offense there, however. And once again, Sanchez managing to get back into it first. Into the corner he goes once again. Irish whips him, pillar to post. Oh, but Bruno gets that right elbow up. The right arm still fine. The left one in a lot of pain. You can see him wince as he looks for it. He's got it here. The kudo driver from Bruno Natoli. And Dmitry Vasilev is fired up right now. Has him on the shoulders. Max flips out to his feet, goes for the kick, but Bruno, oh, you see him there instinctually using the left arm, and it is definitely not paying off. Twisting suplex slam in the ropes. And Bruno Natoli and Max Sanchez fighting back and forth. You see that acumen on display by Bruno, snap-maring Max and just sweeping the face. And Max's advantage that he had in this match has already been nullified as he once again rakes the face of Max Sanchez. Big twisting power slam and goes in for those left shots, but you can see him there holding the arm against his side, definitely damaging it a little bit, dealing the offense after all we've seen Max Sanchez do all night to that arm. Big German suplex from Max Sanchez, and now to the right arm. He sees that the right one is still at full capacity and he wants to do something about it. And that's what makes Max Sanchez so dangerous. Clothesline in the corner. Keep your eyes on Max. Look at the athleticism, but caught with the super kick by Bruno Natoli. Good God almighty, and that could be finished with that Samoan drop. And goes in for the cover, but Max gets out at 2. Bruno Natoli thought he had him done with that variation on the Samoan drop, but not quite. Kick is countered by Max. Bruno on the ropes. Max Sanchez going to go back and just use the ropes to his advantage, as he has done so many times. Grabs the leg, and he's looking for it once again. The execution, the single leg crab applied. This time does not trap the arm, but will it even matter? He's cinching it in deep. Bruno may have no choice, but Max lets it go. Goes for the lateral, and that could do it. No! Bruno Natoli kicks out of that pinfall predicament. Back up, runs in, went for a lariat, but Max gripped him up. And Sanchez and Natoli, two of the young guns here in One Warrior Wrestling, showcasing exactly why they are the future of this place. Big slam. And Max Sanchez nearly getting saved by Handsome Hernandez, but you saw Dimitri yell across the ring, stay focused, and Bruno did just that, looking for a neck breaker. No, a cutter, a nod to his trainer, Dmitry Vasilev. And that's not going to get the win. Went a little too flashy with that cutter attempt. Back to the shots to the face, and it is not seeming to affect him anymore, that left arm. I believe Max Sanchez busted open on the brow line as well. The blood dripping into the face and into the eyes. Max now opting to target the left leg, and he's going to fly. Max Sanchez not too used to diving from the skies, but connects with a gorgeous cross body. Max Sanchez now just laying in the punch and tossing Bruno to the floor, and that is a lot of blood on the forehead of Max Sanchez. That cut right around the brow line as Bruno heads to the outside, and Dimitri, very smart, getting away from his man, making sure that he does not render a disqualification, as a big gutbuster is done in by Max Sanchez, who has now fully targeting the left leg of Bruno Natoli. And Bruno a sitting duck right now on the outside, but lays in the chop on Sanchez. And Sanchez now throwing Bruno head first into the barricade. And Max Sanchez can do whatever he wants out here, even threatening a fan, one of the 1WW faithful. Now going back to that left arm. Max Sanchez has been targeting the left side very extensively of Bruno Natoli. Big waistlock takeover on the floor here. And those red ring mats are mostly just for show. They do not protect you from anything on the floor. Taking a little too long is Bruno Natoli, and Max not too happy with that as he just goes back on the assault. But Bruno managing to get back into it. Max, though, he is fuming after being busted open. And Bruno Natoli, seemingly it is catching up with him. All the damage done to the left arm and left leg. Not even able to put up any blockers for these shots by Max Sanchez. We saw him do this earlier. This time on the outside, however, the back suplex. The German. Oh no, this doesn't end well. Spins him around. Vertical suplex, his leg hitting the ring post. The left leg he's been targeting, even a suplex he can make devastating. Max Sanchez is incredible as he lays in the shots, and Bruno nearly falling into the crowd after that bicycle knee. Max keeps getting in the ring and shouting at the referee, telling him, do you want to stop it? But he never has. Dmitry Vasilev not thrown in the towel yet either. Oh, good Lord. German on the floor. Max Sanchez is just brutal. We may need Handsome Hernandez to come over here and call him off, because Max just is going to continue to assault Bruno Natoli until he is told to stop trying to throw him into Dmitry Vasilev, but even that did not stop him. You notice Dmitry not even catching Bruno Natoli. Wants him to be his own man and fight for himself. Bruno back to his feet. Max baiting Bruno Natoli back into the ring, and it's going to work out for him. He caught him. Samoan drop from Natoli. It's almost like Max wanted him to do that. And Handsome Hernandez distracts James Jackson. Goes for the cover, but Dmitry telling him the ref is not there. That is the Dmitry Vasilev difference. Catches him once again. Cutter to Sanchez. Goes in for the cover. 1, 2. No, Max kicks out at 2. And Max Sanchez surviving once again, but Bruno just pulling on the face, in the eyes. Max managed to get to the ropes. Kick from Sanchez, and he's got him hooked. The execution to that already damaged left leg. And Bruno has to tap. Nowhere to go, nowhere to run. Max Sanchez gets it done. A fantastic contest with Max Sanchez suffering the scars of battle. That is a statement, man. I don't know what is. And as we get into our next contest, our first of 2 championship matches, as we have a 15-minute Ironman matchup for you. Johnny McGuinness and CC Chambers, 2 men who made it through the Dragon Warrior Championship Tournament. And let's reflect on how they got here. Johnny McGuinness picking up wins over David Gardner and Wade Urena. Both incredibly impressive victories against very different kind of opponents, and he managed to do it in less than 15 minutes combined. So Johnny McGuinness has definitely had a relatively quick road to this point. Will he be able to put it all together against CC Chambers here tonight? Ironman Match tests your will and your fortitude in ways that are no other match can or ever will. And Godsend knows that. He wants that. That is exactly what makes a champion. Will Johnny McGuinness be able to start off the lineage of the Dragon Warrior Championship by etching his name on the side plate? Time will tell. About 15 minutes. And then there's CC Chambers, the improbably popular Triple C. Let's reflect on how he got to this point as well. He picked up an incredible first round win over Johnny Gemini in what was maybe the most brutal match of the entire qualifying round. CC had to gut out a performance of a lifetime to get that win. That was only his first match. His second match, picking up a gutsy win over Principe Mascara. Matched him flip for flip, but Principe could not match strike for strike, and that is what got CC the win. That cyclone kick of his, the perfect setup for the Styles clash. Get the win for CC Chambers. Triple C definitely popular here in DC. But will CC be able to win the Dragon Warrior Championship here tonight, and by proxy win the whole damn tournament? Mentioned earlier that Johnny McGinnis managed to win both of his qualifying rounds in less than 15 minutes. CC's took him nearly 20. So definitely a little bit of a difference there. But only one of these men will be the first to etch their name on the side plate of history. And we will find out who that is in 15 minutes time. James Jackson holds the Dragon Warrior Championship above his head. That title held by some all-time greats. Held by people like Kazuya Mitsushi, Axel Hyatt. Held by people like Cazador Dragon. Johnny McGinnis just laying in the punches on CC Chambers, and a smack as well to start him off. Big drop kick flawlessly executed by Chambers. Of course, even in this 15-minute span, the only thing that matters is just 3 seconds. This match could end 1-0. And Chambers using his athleticism to escape that cradle position. These two men are nailing each other with some hard shots to start. Big kick there by CC takes McGinnis down. CC looking to fly. Swanton bomb to Johnny McGinnis. And locking in that chin lock to McGinnis as 1 minute has already elapsed. And they are still feeling each other out. CC once again using that athleticism to hit a bulldog. And I respect the gusto of CC going for a pin after almost every single big maneuver. Either a pin or a submission is to follow, because he knows he only needs a 1-point advantage to win. And with 15 minutes, you've got even less time to try and work down your opponent. CC Chambers has zeroed in on that right arm of Johnny McGinnis to start. And an Arabian press connects flawlessly by Chambers. Went for the big double stomp, but McGinnis got up and intercepted him, split him in half. Good Lord. Goes for the cover, but does not get the first fall on the board. Johnny McGinnis at the 2-minute mark has taken full advantage, throwing him out like yesterday's garbage. And CC is on the back foot, but manages to sweep the leg of Johnny McGinnis there. Tornado kick from CC Chambers. That is always the prelude, but it could have gotten him the first point there, and it does not quite. As we have about 2.5 down, 12.5 to go. CC Chambers has been in control of the offense for majority of this match. CC, though, what's he looking for here? Rebound pile driver. That is a new offensive maneuver. I've never seen CC hit that before, and that may make him go 1-0, but it doesn't. As Johnny McGinnis gets the shoulder up after that impressive offensive maneuver there, and that is exactly what makes CC so devastating. He always seems to be inventing new maneuvers. Goes up to the middle rope now, does Chambers. What does he have in mind from this position? Diving Meteora from Chambers onto McGinnis. Wiping the sweat out of his hair to hit a neck snap on Johnny as well. tying him up on knots and just dropping back with that figure 4 leg breaker. McGinnis, though, trying to get back into it, pulls him in for the short arm lariat. And just like that, he reestablishes control. But CC, dragon screw to Johnny McGinnis. And a face breaker as well. But McGinnis pushes him right away. We are winding down on the 4th minute of this match, and it is still 0 falls. Oh my goodness, look at this. CC Chambers with a twisting package bulldog onto Johnny McGinnis. I'm not even honestly sure what to call some of these maneuvers. CC Chambers always impressive, always innovating. Big interceptor once again by Johnny McGinnis. And now, no, I thought he was going to go 1 fall up there. McGinnis clearly did too. Split him in half, and it didn't matter. And CC could be looking for you. Hear the fans chanting Triple C. It's time for the Styles Clash onto Johnny McGinnis. And he gets the first fall. CC's got to try and survive 10 whole minutes with that advantage. Big cyclone kick from CC Chambers there. Good Lord. And CC maybe looking to go 2-0, but Johnny had the counter. I think he was going for that pile driver variation again. McGinnis busted open, and oh, that is a hard landing on those incredibly taut 1WW ropes. But CC still has the advantage as it stands currently. He's looking to dive once again, calling McGinnis to his feet. Misses the Meteora. McGinnis didn't even have to move. CC just misaligned it, but he stays in control. Once again, going back to that 8-second ride from CC Chambers. CC goes for the cover, looking to make it 2-0. And he does. Johnny McGinnis unable to get the shoulder up. McGinnis, though, grabbing Chambers, looking for a belly to belly, nearly throws him out of the ring. Big PK to the back of CC Chambers. And an inverted DDT as well. Goes for the cover, face washes him. Kick out at 1 by Chambers as the blood spreads across the face of Johnny McGinnis here. CC backs him away, but McGinnis doesn't care, just laying it in and intercepting him once again. That is a dangerous man, but CC is a fighter, and the difference remains 2-0. McGinnis clearly getting frustrated, just laying in the punches to CC Chambers, and the pretty boy is definitely feeling the effects of this one. Runs in, clothesline in the corner, and a stomp frenzy as well by Chambers. Big alley-oop from CC, but McGinnis bats him away, and a punch right in the face into the discus lariat. Maybe a shot at Michael Young there by Johnny McGinnis. We know he's had machinations of being a world champion, but he needs to focus on winning the Dragon Warrior Championship first. And CC Chambers trying to stay on him. Half of the time has elapsed. 7:30 down, 7:30 to go, and the score is 2-0. May as well be an eternity for Johnny McGinnis to try and even it up. CC has been locked in this devastating chin lock, but McGinnis lets him go. Johnny McGinnis went for the punch, but CC had the counter. Tornado kick again from Chambers, and he goes for the cover. 2, 3, and it's 3-0. CC Chambers. CC grabbing McGinnis, looking to shut him out here. And another pendulum pile driver. It'd be 4-0 here. And it is 4-0 on Johnny Beginnis right now, but there are still 6.5 minutes left. Plenty of time for Beginnis to shift it back. Of course, if this is in a tie, then it will go to sudden death. One fall to a finish. Big boot from Johnny Beginnis. And Johnny just laying into Cece, but look at those knees from Chambers. And a beautiful drop kick as well. Cece now going to stomp on the hand of Johnny Beginnis. Gonna try and extend the lead. A 4-0 lead on Johnny as it stands. Big knee drop from Chambers. Johnny back up. Wants to try and get his first point on the board, but Chambers sends him to the floor. Beginnis with the forearm smash. Back in the ring, and Cece springboards off and kills him with that cutter. Good God, what a landing. Swanton to Beginnis. Cece Chambers has a 4-0 lead on Johnny Beginnis right now. Could be looking to make it 5 here. As we get to the 5-minute mark, pendulum pile driver onto Johnny Beginnis. And that could do it. It does. 5-0. 5 minutes or a little less left now. And Cece Chambers, if this is the rate that he has, he very well may be an unstoppable world champion. Locking in a label lock, an omoplata crossface, and that's 6-0. 6-0 for Cece Chambers. Good Lord. Interceptor. And goes in for the cover. And he gets his first fall. 6-1. It's still an open game. There's still 4 minutes left. Johnny could tie it up. Don't act like this is a foregone conclusion. Powerbomb. Final flash to Chambers. Beginnis grabs him, but Cece fights him off. And a big belly to Chambers. Beginnis in the corner now. What's he cooking here? Interceptor to Cece Chambers. This could make it 6-2. 1, 2, 3. 6-2 is the score now. And just clubbering on the face of Cece Chambers, a man possessed. He knows how close it is now. He knows that he's only got 3 minutes left. You saw him glance up at the Titantron earlier, trying to gauge how much time he had. That's not what he needs to do, though. He does not need to take it to the outside. He needs to keep it in the ring. It is not falls count anywhere. I think this is a bad strategy by Johnny Beginnis. This is great for Cece Chambers, however. 6-2 advantage, 2:45 left. Will Cece do the honorable thing? Johnny Beginnis may have let the frustration get to him a little bit. Wanted to try and deal some damage to Cece, and Cece dives out over top of him. Beginnis back into it. 2.5 minutes, still far from a done deal. Throwing him into the ring apron. Good God. Get him back in the ring, Johnny. You've only got about 2 minutes left. You cannot afford to hesitate here. And Johnny Beginnis back in the ring with Cece Chambers. Throws him into the corner. And now just throwing him hither and yon, trying to do some damage. He's got to start getting some offense. An interceptor! That could be 6-3. 1, 2, three. It is 6-3 now. CC Chambers needs to try and stop this rally from Johnny McGuinness. Liger bomb from Johnny. CC better hope he doesn't throw a 6-3 lead onto Johnny McGuinness. He trapped McGuinness and nails him down. Freeze and shatter by CC Chambers, and this could be the final one he needs. Hooks him up. Has him hooked. Big Styles clash. 2, 3. It's 7-3 now. Johnny McGuinness rallied, but CC just built up too much of a lead. Johnny's going to have to just try and finish strong here. Another Liger bomb from McGuinness. 1, 2, 3. It's 7-4. There's still 30 seconds left. Anything could happen. Anything is possible, I suppose. But Johnny McGuinness just let a little too much slide for a little too long. And now he knows that he's lost, and he is so frustrated that he's just going to try and hurt CC Chambers. It is 7-4. But Johnny may still be the one who stands tall when it's all said and done. He will be. But 7-4, CC Chambers wins the Dragon Warrior Championship. CC Chambers manages to survive and earns his spot in the history books. What a match. And as we get into our next contest, we have got more action for you as another member of the 666 Dojo, this man making his debut, David McEwen. And he is going to be taking on another debutante in Satoru Matsuda. David McEwen, under the tutelage of Michael Young, finally relegated to make his debut. Will he be able to be impressive? We saw his cohort Iku Atami in a loss to Santos Jarrett earlier in the evening. So Dave McEwen definitely does not want that to not happen to him, excuse me. But he's going to be taking on the always unpredictable Satoru Matsuda. Self-professed party pro makes his way down the aisle. Satoru Matsuda could be looking to have a good matchup here tonight. Maybe establish himself as a competitor for CC Chambers, who we just saw win the Dragon Warrior Championship. Satoru Matsuda definitely has a lot of the skills needed to be in that kind of position. He's going to have to put it all together here tonight. He's going to have to stop the dancing once the match starts. Satoru Matsuda now squaring off against Dave McEwen. Off the ropes, a big body splash by Satoru Matsuda to start off here, and for a lariat to David McEwen, but Satoru countered it with a snapmare into a penalty kick. Satoru Matsuda taken down by David McEwen, who is laying in the shots and even has time to hit a stomp as well. Big face breaker knee smash. And is Satoru already busted open? Hard to tell, but I think Satoru may have a little bit of color on his head. Big body splash from Matsuda. Goes for the cover, but nearly gets it done. And Satoru is busted open on the forehead, right on the right side of his face. Referee James Jackson may have to don the black gloves, because that is definitely not a good look for him. The ropes, Matsuda. Big body splash is countered that time by McEwen. Dave McEwen showing exactly how lethal those hands truly are. Big shot to the head by Dave McEwen, and now just lacing Satoru Matsuda. Snap jab once again, trying to open up that wound that Matsuda has on his forehead. Now just punching and chopping a lot of times. Here is Dave McEwen. Big hip toss there as well. And now just biting on the fingers of Satoru Matsuda. And Satoru catches him. Big body slam and the shining elbow as well. Cranking on the neck here of Dave McEwen. And you know Michael Young is going to be watching this one very, very intently. After seeing Iku Itami lose earlier in the night, a loss here from Dave McEwen is the last thing he can afford, because he wants to make sure that his boys look strong ahead of his world title match. Satoru went for an attack, but Dave had the counter. Big proto bomb there by Matsuda. And nearly gets the 3 off of it as well. Once again going back to this big body splash, which has yielded mixed results, but that time very fruitful. He nails it flush. Up on the shoulders, but McEwen has the counter. And look at these lethal right hands from Dave McEwen. He has shown that he has some hellacious punches, showcased evidently by Satoru Matsuda's cut on the top of his head. And that blood is definitely getting into the eye of Satoru Matsuda. He's going to have to try and minimize the effects of that as he hits a big pump handle drop. And is that going to do it? No, it is not. Satoru Matsuda not able to get it done, but the fans on their feet, fully behind Satoru. Dave McEwen in a bad spot as Satoru hits a big leg drop, even has a time to pantomime. But now hits the kick. Fisherman's Buster from Matsuda. 2. No, McEwen kicks out. I thought that was done and dusted, but not quite. And David McEwen trying to fight back up, and once again, those deadly right hands come into play in the headbutt. Can't feel much better. Big form smash, and Matsuda fires back with one of his own. Has him in his hands. Big side slam there by Matsuda. Now just attacking the arm. And now Satoru Matsuda locking in the Magna Claw on Dave McEwen. James Jackson wants to know if he's going to submit or not. Dave McEwen seemingly trying to fight, and he manages to break the hold and sweep the leg. Stomping to the back of the arm as well, and he is just staying on top of him. Going back to the hand of Satoru Matsuda, and Dave McEwen now looking to take flight. What could he have in mind? King Kong! Knee drop, a 666 staple, and a fist drop right to the cut. A second one. He is opening that cut right up on Satoru's head. Dave McEwen may end up getting a win here by a referee stoppage if Satoru loses too much more blood. Oh, he may not have to. Has him locked in the stretch plum. Will Satoru tap out here to the stretch plum? No, he manages to escape. escape and even nail a punch in the head. Satoru Matsuda staying back into it, but David McEwen again with the shots to the head. This time to the other side. Oh, good Lord. Brain breaker, shades of Axel Hyatt with that one. And a penalty kick as well. Dave McEwen, look at these forearms to the head of Satoru Matsuda. Good God. This has been a brutal contest. Now just using the punches in the corner. Oh, no, no, no. Lawn darting him into the center turnbuckle. And Dave McEwen looked like he may have been going for another attempt at the stretch plum, but was not able to get there in time. Big face breaker by Matsuda. Up to the middle rope. Diving axe handle, nobody home. Satoru did not line that one up correctly at all, but it may not be too bad. No, McEwen managing to counter layout DDT by McEwen. And again, back to the head. Dave McEwen has done such a fantastic job of targeting the head of Matsuda. You can definitely see it starting to take its toll on him. But once again, the Fisherman's Buster by Matsuda goes in for the cover, the flawless hook. But Matsuda not able to get it done off the second attempt at the Fisherman's Buster. Saw him do this before as well, feeding off the energy of the fans for that leg drop. Could be looking to do it 3 for 3. The Fisherman's Buster. He connects with this. It's got to be done. Nailed it. And there it is. And Satoru Matsuda gets the win in his debut. So far, not a good night for the 666 Dojo. But some incredible matches, and that is definitely one of them. Bloodied, battered, brutalized, and bruised. Satoru gets the win. And as we get into our next contest, we have got Kanala Parata taking on Yamashita. Kanala Parata, of course, emphatically made his presence known to the One Warrior Wrestling USA faithful by attacking his longtime partner and best friend Mark Adams backstage. And now finally making his debut against a man who is absolutely devastating in that ring, but Kanala Parata staring into the camera there. Definitely wants to be taken seriously. Ditching some of the more questionable aspects of the Sea Dogs tag team, and now just being a rapscallion, the brash buccaneer, Kanala Parata. But will it prove to be a wise decision to have split from Mark Adams? This will be the ultimate test of that, taking on someone like Yamashita in his first singles match. Kanala Parata full of energy here. Once again, just staring into the camera. Very dynamic by Kanala Parata.
Unbroken.
Now his opponent, making his One Warrior Wrestling USA debut, Yamashita. And if you could pick a person who would have fit perfectly into prime One Warrior Wrestling, Yamashita checks all the boxes. Tall, athletic, hard-hitting, respectful of tradition and legacy. Yamashita is your guy. He's going to prove that here tonight. I have no doubt about it. He's going to be able to contend against someone as wily as Kanala Parata. Yamashita soaking in the energy of the Washington, D.C. crowd. Yamashita definitely going to have to use every bit of his wrestling ability here tonight. Always impressive in the ring. Either one of these men could have championship gold in their immediate futures. It is such a wide open landscape for anyone and everyone that it's honestly hard to say one way or the other. Let's get into this one, our penultimate match of the evening. Kanala Parata, Yamashita, and Yamashita starting off with a dragon suplex. That right there is the Yamashita way. Kanala, though, starting off with a side slam. Was very staggered, went for the Busaiku, but nobody home, and Kanala connects with a penalty kick. And Kanala Parata locking in a dragon sleeper on Yamashita. Big knee lifts to the head of Kanala, and the kick is laid in. Yamashita fighting him off. Big shots to the stomach. Clothesline from Parata. Yamashita with the big jumbo knee, the Busaiku. Dragon screw there by Parata, though. Up to the middle rope. King Kong, but nobody home. Yamashita tried to spin him around, but Kanala managed to use his speed to his advantage up on the shoulders. And a snake eyes in store for Kanala Parata. Yamashita tried to go for some face washes, but Kanala had the counter. Runs in and bumps heads. Meeting of the minds. Hooks him up. Look at this. Release suplex, the money clip. And not even a 1 count. James Jackson was a little slow to the cover, though, but Kanala still managed to kick out at 1. Yamashita grabbing Kanala Parata and nailing him with that Fisherman's Buster. Yamashita looking to fly, but Kanala could be there to stop him, and he is with a big punch in the stomach of Yamashita. Clothesline from Parata, and another super kick on display by Kanala Parata. And now Kanala twisting kick, but nobody home. Yamashita honestly seemed like he didn't know what was happening, but countered it and hit the Tour of the Islands. And that was not quite enough. The twisting power slam, the Tour of the Islands couldn't get it done. But he is on fire right now. Kick from Yamashita, double underhook. Could be looking Tiger Driver. No, a delayed butterfly suplex by Yamashita to Kanala Parata. Went for the punch, but Yama a little too far away. Yamashita has Kanala up and could be looking once again for that snake eyes. Connects with it again. But Kanala had the counter at the perfect time. Snap Dragon to Yamashita. Kick out at 1. Big knee lift as well. Yamashita looks like he may have countered a second attempt at that knee lift. Kick from Yamashita. Packages him up. Big Asylum driver from Yamashita. He could be looking for something big here. Kick to the stomach. Yamabama from Yamashita. And that's gotta do it. No, Kanala gets the kick out. Doctor bomb by Yamashita as well. Yamashita picking up Kanala Parada once again. This time dropping him on the top ropes instead of the top turnbuckle. Victory roll into a neck breaker from Yamashita. But Kanala clotheslines him right out of the ring. The fans letting him know how he feels about that one. Toss back in the ring. Kanala Parada wanting it to stay there. But Kanala tossed into the corner by Yamashita. Back elbow by Parata. Went for the punch. Nobody home. The big chop there. Now picking him up, Yamashita managing to hit a big fall-away slam, and the size of Yamashita has proved so beneficial in this matchup against a smaller-than-average wrestler in Kanala Parada. Even by junior heavyweight standards, Kanala gives up a lot of size, but a big DDT, and I think that is busted open. Yamashita it has, and the big Caribbean kick. And that was nearly a 1-2 punch to get the win for Kanala Parada, but Yamashita got the kick out. Yamashita captured, trapping him with that full Nelson slam. And Kanala Parada still not able to get the win. Cutthroat side slam, not enough to get it done. Now looking for it here. Kanala thinks better of diving off the top rope, instead opting to throw Yama out of the ring. Only wants Yamashita out there on his own terms. And just punching right on that cut. Now on the other side, just alternating back and forth. Yamashita can barely defend himself. Big neck breaker. Yamashita now gonna have to try and get back into this one, but Kanala has just been so devastating, tossing him into the ring post now. And the Buccaneer of brutality has just been putting that on full display, tossing Yamashita all around. And Kanala looking to dive on Yamashita. Oh my goodness, what does he have in mind here? What in the world is this? Diving moonsault press onto Yamashita from the top rope to the floor. Good Lord. Kanala Parada unhinged. Canadian Destroyer as well. Kanala Parada, a man possessed. Yamashita back to his feet. Up on the shoulders. Air raid bomb onto Kanala Parada, and the big elbow drop as well. These two need to get it back in the ring. That sloppy moonsault press from Kanala Parada clearly took a lot out of him. He managed to hit that destroyer and just drop kicked Yamashita's head into the barrier. Good Lord, his head hitting the steps on the way down as well. Yamashita may need medical attention after all of this devastating offense that Kanala has just hit in rapid succession, tossing him into the steps as well. Kanala just stomping on the arm now. But Yamashita managing to trip him up. Kanala nearly sent right into the steps, and Yamashita trying desperately to get back in the ring. Kanala even waiting on him. Yamashita fueling himself off the energy of the 1WW faithful. But will it be enough? He is fighting him off. The fans fully behind Yamashita with the rising hand chop on the shoulders. And a guillotine landing, but Kanala managed to get back in and hit the twisting drop kick. Kanala could look to put him away here with the cutthroat slam on Yamashita, and it was just too much. Yamashita put down to rest. Compromised to a permanent end by Kanala Parata. And if this is the new Kanala Parata, then he has a lot to answer for. And as we get into our main event of the evening, it is time to contend with a Texas death match.
Next time I have to come in here, I'm cracking skulls.
Michael Young takes on Dylan Hyatt. These two were, of course, involved in the main event of the first episode of One Warrior Wrestling 1 month ago. Dylan Hyatt winning 2 falls to nothing, though he got that second fall in less than definitive circumstances. Michael Young challenged him to a rematch. Dylan Hyatt says, let's up the ante. Texas death match. And last week, the 666 Dojo blow out the team of the Clarks and Dylan Hyatt. So now it's time to find out who will survive. Give you a breakdown on the rules. It is going to be submission only, no disqualification. It must occur in the ring. And there can only be one winner. The match will run until we have a definitive winner. Michael Young, the Lord of the Lariat, taking on the humbler Dylan Hyatt. Wearing the special Kazuya Mitsushi Cazador Dragon Tribute Ribera jacket. Coming out here with the most prestigious prize in the game today. Dylan Hyatt is a man who is in the right place at the right time to win that championship against Michael Young, but this has quickly turned into a bit of a sour situation for Michael Young, as this is anything but a friendly rivalry. Fans evenly split on this one, but I can tell you this much, it is going to be brutal. That's what it's all about right there. Let's go to introductions. In the red corner, 6 feet, 265 from Australia, Michael Young, the Lord of the Lariat. Looking ready for action. And in the black corner, 6'4", 250 from Baltimore, Maryland, Dylan Hyatt with the One Warrior Wrestling Heavyweight Championship. Could this be the last night that he holds that prize? He's going to pass it off to James Jackson. He's going to hope upon hope that he can outlast Michael Young and get the win. That's what it's all about for these two. The heavyweight championship of the world. Both of these men look ready for action. Let's get into this one. Michael Young starting it off. German suplex. Painmaker to Dylan Hyatt just to start. And the Dragon Sleeper applied. This could be the fastest we've seen a match end in One Warrior Wrestling, but Dylan not going to let that happen. He's got Mikey now. Axel Hyatt bomb from Dylan Hyatt. And a cross-legged Boston Crab onto Michael Young. We've already seen their best shots, and they're already trying to tap each other out. Dylan cinched back on it, and Mikey got the escape. Both men just hammering in on each other. Mikey grabbed by the hair, but Dylan not able to do anything with it. Dylan Hyatt hit with an atomic drop. Yakuza kick by Michael Young, and the big boy senton as well. Michael Young with a senton attack, but Dylan rolls out of the way. And the fans split evenly on who they want to come out on top. Mikey thrown to the floor. This cannot end on the floor. It has to end in the ring, but that doesn't mean they can't do some damage out here. No disqualification, no count out. They can stay out there for as long as they want. And Dylan just taking it to Michael Young. Mikey has about 20 pounds on Dylan. Dylan has 4.5 inches on Michael Young. But both of these men are so brutal and so devastating that it's honestly hard to give the advantage to one or the other. Dylan went for a moonsault and Mikey made him pay. Mikey going to get an implement. Dylan telling him to bring it on. Hear him yell it at him, and he stops him from using that Singapore cane. Big back body drop. And Dylan maintains control. Dylan Hyatt going back to this high angle Boston Crab onto Michael Young. Mikey's got to try and escape. You see James Jackson ready to call it, but Mikey trips Dylan, who hit his throat on the bottom rope. I hope that does not come back to cost him. Dylan grabbed by Mikey. Bicycle knee and the Poison Rana onto Dylan Hyatt. Oh my goodness, Mikey, we've heard rumor of this. The crosshair is locked in. Dylan desperately trying to scramble to grab that Singapore cane. The crosshair is locked in, but Dylan managed to survive one of Mikey's most all-time devastating maneuvers. Michael Young with the pile driver to Dylan Hyatt. And Mikey heading up top, looking to dive on him. Moonsault to Dylan Hyatt. And hits the big boy senton off the bottom rope as well. Dylan managing to fight back into it. Dylan Hyatt has Mikey in his grasp, puts him on the ropes. Big chop to Michael Young, and just pulling on that leg. Saw him attack it earlier. We know how much he wants to try and deal some damage to Mikey. Mikey just grabbing Dylan like he is an average man, and Dylan is very, very big, so that is quite impressive. Another big boy senton by Michael Young. Mikey grabbing Dylan, looking to deal some real damage here, dropping him on the top rope. Absolutely devastating. And Mikey in full control, trying to break the fingers of Dylan Hyatt with those stomps right on the thumb. Big chop is evaded, and Dylan goes to work back on the leg. Mikey counters. Oh, good Lord, picks him up. Big release power bomb right onto the kendo stick. And Dylan heads to the floor. He's looking for it. The crowd still split 50-50. Dylan grabs a table, but Mikey does not want that to come into play. Bicycle knee on the floor. No, no, no. Poison Rana! Dylan Hyatt could have just been concussed after that. And now Mikey just lacing him with that Singapore cane. Beautiful drop kick by Dylan Hyatt onto Michael Young. Big knee lift as well, and they are fighting up onto the stage. Mikey down, Dylan stomping on the hands, and he grabs the Singapore cane now, just clattering Michael Young with it. Mikey went for the lariat, Dylan clatters him and shatters the Singapore cane on Michael Young. Good God almighty, Dylan looking to get back in the ring. Mikey still staggered, Dylan telling him to get on with it and get in the ring. A sign of respect maybe from Dylan Hyatt there. Release suplex by Hyatt. And now going back to the arm. These two are just beating lumps out of one another. This is what the One Warrior Wrestling Heavyweight Championship means to both of these guys. Mikey's back out, and he lands right near the steps. That is a hard landing for Michael Young. Dylan looks like he has evil intentions in mind, but he's making sure that Mikey's okay first. Letting Mikey get up under his own power, very respectful. Dylan Hyatt runs to the outside. He saw Michael duck down. It looked like he was going for a dive, but he saw Mikey move out of the way. Rana on the floor. That's the move he won the championship with. No cheeky pinfalls this time, though. He's in the ring now, making sure that table's going to stay there. And now Dylan grabbing Mikey, but Mikey punches him right in the mouth. German into the barrier at ringside. Good Lord, Mikey looking for more implements. He's got another Singapore cane and just clattering Dylan with it. Dylan shattered the last one over Michael Young. Big drop kick, but nobody home. Right over the head, and Dylan busted open by one of the shards. Good God. Mikey feeling the energy of the DC faithful. They are loving this here in our nation's capital. Dylan bleeding, Mikey on the offense. And now Dylan goes for a chop, went for the punch, and they are still battling on the outside. Oh no. Big power bomb to Dylan Hyatt on the floor. This is on the outside. This won't count towards the match, but he could still make him tap out on the floor with the crosshair applied. Mikey's got it in deep. This is a devastating hold. We saw Mikey almost tap him out there and earlier, but Dylan survived both times. Mikey countered by Dylan Hyatt. Dylan again with the Rana to Mikey. Dylan Hyatt, big TNA kick. And now just a cross-legged slam on the floor to Michael Young. Dylan keeping his guard up the entire time. And just punching Mikey, laying in the shots, and they're back in the ring. Dylan Hyatt heading back in. Dylan grabbing Michael Young. Oh no. Looking for the brain breaker. Mikey reverses. Can barely even connect with the German, but he manages to do just that. Setting up the table in the corner is Michael Young. What does he have in mind here? Oh, good Lord. Tiger driver to Dylan Hyatt. My God. Goes to spin him around, but Dylan had the counter. Mikey counters that. 585. Takes his damn head off. Goes for the dragon. Dylan had the reversal. Slams him down. Dylan Hyatt ate the 585. He knew he'd have to eventually, but he's still standing. Dylan with the punches, went for the kick, but Mikey caught it. Dylan goes to grab Mikey, but not able to get it. Oh, good Lord. Exploder suplex, dangerously near that table. Look at the power on display by Michael Young. Oh, my goodness. That through the table with the military press. My God. My God, how brutal. Dylan looks like he's about to submit. Is he going to get it? Mikey letting it go. And Dylan going to make him pay. Dylan Hyatt heading to the floor now. The table shattered. Dylan grabs a Singapore cane and clatters Mikey with it. Mikey disarms him and hits him with it. This has been positively brutal, living up to the name Texas Death Match for the heavyweight championship. That's the third or fourth Singapore cane that's been just completely shattered by these two. Dylan against the barrier. And Mikey just taunting Dylan, who is trying to catch his breath on the ringside area. Dylan posted up, the faithful chanting him on. This match has been absolutely hellacious thus far, and it doesn't seem like it's any closer to being finished. Mikey not satisfied with letting Dylan get out there, but Dylan may have baited him. Dylan just staring at him before getting back in the ring, making a statement that he doesn't want to do this on the outside. He wants it to be in the ring. Oh, good Lord. AHB, Axel Hyatt bomb for the second time. And now locking in that high angle Boston Crab. He's got it wrenched. Mikey taps out, and Dylan survives. Good God Almighty. What a brutal affair for Dylan Hyatt to get the win definitively over Michael Young. What a match. What a champion.